Like, is this the start of the higher time frame trade through the lower extreme of this major sell-off that we had? We spent some time in the upper 50% of the range. We didn't find buyers to bring us back to all-time highs. Does gold need to trade through the lower extreme of this sell-off range again? Today looks like the start of that. We'll see what happens through the rest of the day.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Jay. Let's take a look at the 30. Um, so it suffices to say that overnight inventory is exceedingly short. There's a couple of caveats to anything you're thinking about long here. So we had the gap that created this island bottom. We have traded back down through that gap, and we seem to be bringing more participation below that level. That's a warning shot for longs right there. If the buyers were still present, they probably would have maybe let them close that gap, but buyers would have come in somewhere in this range that put in this island bottom. Now we can look a little bit deeper into that day. So, you know, a move below the weekly kickoff low and then reacceptance above it would indicate that buyers are still here. So what we're looking for meaningful sellers below the weekly kickoff low as we speak right now. Are we seeing them? I mean, we're seeing some of the biggest volume on this 30-minute chart that we've seen in quite a long time. So there is some horsepower behind these sellers. I am not going to be trying to pick a bottom in this today until we find some sort of structure to lean on. Last thing I want to do is fight a directional market. If we do see the market slow, volume dry up down below this level, that might be something where I could take a look and say, all right, maybe we start to see some sort of reversal pattern that lets us limit risk, but I'm not going to be jumping in front of anything directional. And so far, we've got 8 red 30-minute candles leaving the range, leaving value, coming through that gap, coming to the weekly kickoff low, pushing through the weekly kickoff low, and looking like some pretty decent volume. Of course, we've got a little bit of time to see how the volume on this 30-minute chart is playing out, but I do not want to step in front of this is a directional market. It is one time framing lower. It has broken important levels. Be careful if you are going to try anything contrary to this move. As long as we continue to hold below that weekly kickoff low, that to me is pivotal for any opposite opportunities. We haven't seen any opposite opportunities back above that level in the last 10 minutes here, and the market is continuing to push to the downside. So, as far as targets down below, way down below, there is a naked point of control, 46.9430, and another gap that comes all the way from back here down to 45.60. Are we heading that way today? I don't know, but there is space and there are targets, visual targets down below for traders to focus on. And when traders are focusing on levels, they have a tendency to bring price there. Jay, what are you thinking on this 30-minute chart?
On the 30, I had to go back to the daily really quick here, Hogue, to look at the volume. One of the
Yeah,
things we've
go
been
ahead.
talking about one of the things we've been talking about in gold is the lack of volume. Uh, Already today, we're almost gonna exceed yesterday's volume. And again, we got a lot of trading left to do on a Fed day. So there's some real selling behind this move, like you said, Hogue. On the 30, we're below all of my moving averages. The 20 is below the 50, below the 200, which is telling us downtrend, and we're starting to see some separation there. So like you said, Hogue, I'm not going to be the first person to want to jump in and buy this. If 4900's held, then maybe, but we're seeing real flow behind this and really not that, type of capitulation selling that leads to a reversal just yet. Now, I think if I was to buy gold, I need to see that, right? Volume that looks unsustainable, where we just get extremely heavy, kind of wash out any buyers that we have. And then it starts a short covering move that could lead to a long opportunity. But right now, the flow is to the downside in this market. I think it's about finding a space to get into the short side. Could feel like you're short in the hole, especially because we're at that daily ATR range. But you kind of got to go with what the market is saying here. We've seen gold trade huge percentage moves as well. We're down 2.4% right now. I think you kind of have to be patient here if you didn't take a trade in this market already. But I'd be leaning to the downside just because that's where the flow is going right now.
All right. So, uh, hot take. One of the articles I was reading last night says gold is going to go up to between 15 and $20,000 by the end of the year,
Ooh,
but it's going to make a pit stop down to 3,500.
what a move that would be.
If, if they're right on that, I will be forever amazed
Okay.
and probably in their debt if that is the case, if
I
we
was
get
gonna say,
those
how much are you
opportunities,
buying
right?
down there, Hogue, if it gets down to 3,500s? Not financial advice, but if we get to